Welcome back, everybody, to the Joycast. We are in episode 22, believe it or not, and this week's episode is about truth. Now, if you're following along, you may have realized that Chris just did an episode on truth. So we're calling this today Truth 2.0. And this is really my take on truth, right? Each of us are going to come in and share our take on truth. And as I share my truth episode with you today, my message to you, my friends, is that you have a unique and inherent truth that is all your own. Welcome back to another episode of Joy, the Journey of You podcast. We're your hosts, Devin and Chris, and we're here for joy.
This podcast is your permission slip to reconnect to your inherent joy and to embrace it.
Let's fill up the cosmic joy pot together as we dive in to today's episode. Just yours. Just you. It's your sacred little gem, your little nugget. And it's yours. And truth be told, my friends, is that when you follow your truth and live out of your truth, you're going to expand and grow in more joy in your life. You just are. You're just going to experience more joy, more abundance, more. Is it basically if you follow the truth, you'll be set free. The truth shall set you free, and you'll be free to enjoy all of the expansive joy, love, abundance, all of it in life. Now, conversely, if you're blind to your truth, that you even have a truth that maybe you're aware of, you have a truth, but you're just kind of hiding from it. But if you're blind to your truth, you're likely going to be following someone else's, basically. If you're not claiming your own truth, you're likely going to be acting out of someone else's truth. Whether that be parents, society, religion, school, like there's all sorts of different options as to how we can dysfunctionally be acting out of someone else's truth. So, I have many points of reference in my life because I wasn't always living out of my truth. I truly was living out of an idea of truth. Right. I remember actually within growing up in church and parenting and everything, how a lot of times we like to tell the truth, right? And to tell the truth at that time meant that there was some sort of right and wrong determinant, right? And that's ironic that I said that. But that essentially was like that God, like some sort of entity of God, had this barometer of what was right and wrong, of what's true and what's not. And and so it was a very black and white picture of what truth was back then. And any sense of truth I had was some other source of authority that was telling me what truth was, whether it be God, whether it be a pastor or a priest or whatever, or my mom. My mom was the main one. My mom was the main person in my life teaching me or telling me, describing to me, molding me to show me what she saw as truth. And so, for example, she wanted me to go into business and go into finance because she saw that as a tried and true way of getting success and being financially stable in your life. My mom wasn't financially stable in her life, and so her focus was on getting her girls, her daughters, to be really stable. And so she had a very distinct, like, kind of rubric or viewpoint on what that was for her. And then she put that on me. And so I was acting as a young girl, and honestly, even as a teenager, and then a woman in my 20s, even in late 20s, was still probably acting out of my mom's truth. But there was a point I remember actually in it was more like undergrad where I had changed my major like 3 or 4 times because I was kind of dancing around what my mom wanted, what I wanted, and basically trying to appease my mom, but realizing I wasn't actually happy and didn't want to go into business admin or finance or anything. I tried communications. I just tried all these majors and these courses that just were not for me. And I remember when I told my mom that I wanted to go into exercise science and learn about the body and learn about strength training and these things, is that she was not about it. She genuinely actually told me that I would not be successful in that. And basically at the time, what I now see it as is my mom was she had what she thought to be true. And when I was basically saying, "Hey, mom, I have a truth and I want to start following that truth," that started to kind of question and like shake the earth underneath of her of what that truth was and what her fear was, right? It was all coming out of love and her wanting the best life for me. Um, so so I bet you have examples in your life I bet that you have had some concept of truth placed upon you. Most people that I work with in my coaching and healing practice are first time getting into learning their own truth, and a lot of people didn't even realize that they had their own truth, that they had a unique inherent truth that was all their own. A lot of us are just living in versions of what is truth or what's good. So here's my question to you. What has been your concept of truth? Before now, before this moment, and before me talking about it, before us opening up, what was it for you? What was your concept of truth? Was it telling the truth? Was it that there was a right or wrong way? Just kind of ponder that for a moment. What has been your concept of truth up until this very moment? Yeah, like I shared with you, what's coming up for me is that there is a right and wrong way, that there's a right and wrong way to do things. And if I don't do it the right way, then I'm automatically wrong. And it's a very fine line of where success is. Feels very narrow. Now, my next question to you is, who decided that? Yeah. Who decided that that was true, or what is true? Who decided what is true? And just see that for a moment. Be real. Let it come to you of like, yeah, it was actually this person or this program or this institution. That was their idea. That's who was saying it. And notice how old you were. Notice where you were in your life, how susceptible you probably were to other people's ideas of truth. Because you were probably learning at that stage in your life. Even if you were an adult, if you can reflect back on some of those memories. So good. Got a good sense of that? Good. Good job. So now we move into, what would you like for it to be like? What would it be like for you to find your own truth? Just imagine that for a moment. Imagine that, one, you're aware that you have your own truth that's unique to you. Feel that. And then as you become aware that you have your own unique truth that's unique to you, what would it be like for you to begin to embark on the journey of discovering your truth? Immediately notice the emotion, the feeling, the sensation, what you want to do. Notice those things. Now, what would it be like for you to live that out? For you, at having recognized you have a truth, then going and living out of that truth. How would that feel? And let's be real, it could be scary. I know some of you are full on and you're going to be like, woo, yeah, it would be awesome to live out of my truth, right? And for some of us, given where we're at in our lives, you may be scared to live out of your truth, because what does that mean? What does that change in me, right? It's going to probably provoke something within you, because it is a bit startling to shake the core of our perceived existence, right? To really shake the earth underneath of us, and let it rumble that you have an inherent truth. So just be real with yourself. What comes up for you in this idea of, what would it be like for me to know I have a truth that's unique to me, to live out of it? Notice any excitement, notice any fear, any trepidation. Notice if both of those things can happen and are happening at the same time. It really is a double-sided coin of excitement and nervousness, right? It's because right up on the cusp of us actually changing and us leaning into that truth is change. And in that leaning in right before change is where we're gonna have fear, because it's we are now starting to redefine and question who we are and what our lives are about. So acknowledge it. Do not blow past this. Good. You're doing great. Now, here's my next question. Do you want more of that? You want more joy, more expansion, more intimacy in your life, more of your truth? Would you like that? Do you want to feel more of that sense of opportunity? Do you want to feel more of that sense of discovering that maybe you don't know everything about yourself yet? Maybe you don't know everything about life yet? Maybe there's more truth to discover? Yeah, do you want more of that? So I just invite you to ponder this for yourself. Right now in this moment, ponder it. But for the rest of the day, after you listen to this, just sit with this. Sit with this idea that you have a truth, that you could feel a certain way if you began to lean into following it. And then just simply decide for yourself as you ponder and you just sit with this. How would you like to move forward in your relationship with truth? Do you want to continue to just take it at that face value and just take it, or do you want to lean into and ponder and discover your truth? It's just an opportunity that you have before you right now as I share with you that you have a unique truth that is fully inherent to you, that is all of your own, that will light you up. Do you want that? How would you like to move forward with that? And then share it with somebody. Tell somebody. And if you don't have somebody, this is now where I'm going to boldly say, go get a coach. Go get a coach that knows about living out of your truth. Granted, yes, me, Chris, Felicia, this is what we do. We literally help people live out of their truth. That is what I do as a coach, is I directly show people who they are in their truth, what they are capable of in the true light of themselves. And then I am like a guide. One of my clients actually just shared like a Sherpa guiding you up a mountain of like, here's how you find your way to your truth, your true path. Because when we're in uncharted territory, right? When you're in an uncharted territory of didn't even know I had a truth of my own, how do I navigate the truth of my own? You need a guide. You need somebody to help you navigate this unknown terrain. So it's not that you couldn't do it on your own, but I'm just inviting you to really inquire within of, do you know your own truth? And if you don't, get someone to help you find it. Basically, your call to action here, my friends, is find your truth and live out of it. Please find your truth and live out it. It is the greatest gift that you can give yourself in your life. The greatest gift that you can give others in the world and the world itself is to live out of our truth. Can you imagine a world where everyone, if not most people, are living out of their truth, their soul's truth, the nirvana of their soul, to be able to live in their truth and really experience the joy, abundance, and expansion that's here in our lives? I really think that so many people are lost in this world because they don't know their truth. They don't know that they have a truth and they're following a truth that is not resonant with them. So this is why either people are blindly following a truth or are giving up and numbing themselves and just surviving and existing, is because if you don't have your truth, you're gonna be lost. If I can just say it boldly, if you don't have your truth, you're going to be lost. Your truth is your beacon. It is your North Star. Your truth is your North Star. Time for you to claim it. Here's the opportunity. Yes, you could do it tomorrow. Yes, you could do it next week. But why? Why wait? Well, how about right now? And look, if you struggle, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. But that's what the truth is, y'all. That's what the truth is. Truth really is living out of that unique inherentness of yourself, your soul, and you have a unique essence and a unique way that you have something to share with the world. So, as you hear all of our takes on truth, I invite you to lean into what feels true for you. What episode feels true for you? What path towards truth feels true for you? And I invite you to lean in. I invite you to lean in. So we are always here for you. I'm always here for you. I really look forward to meeting you one day and to discovering and hearing about what you yourself have discovered as you discover your own truth. So here's to that. Here's to your truth, my friends. So, truth with a capital T. Till next time. Bye, everybody.